Somehow, and I cannot believe that this is true, Donald Trump is still talking about having to walk up a flight of stairs. Yes, the biggest scandal in American political history, escalator gate, is still going on. Donald Trump wrote a sequel to his very poorly received novella about escalator gate that came out earlier this week. And it's this: a real disgrace took place at the UN. I'm gonna skip ahead because there's way too much right there. That escalator came to a screeching halt. It stopped on a dime. It's amazing that Melania and I didn't fall forward onto the sharp steps of these steel steps face first. It was only that we were each holding the handrail tightly, or it would have been a disaster. They would have both been cut to shreds. It would have been like a Saw movie. Yes, it's like being dropped 10 stories onto a bunch of Ginsu blades. That's what it would have been, tells our very serious president. It reminds me, there was an old Portlandia sketch where the homeowners were trying to tell someone who's gonna be house sitting to avoid hitting their head in the kitchen by accident. And then he goes on this weird thing of banging his head and falling on something and basically effectively dying as a result of a minor and easily avoidable issue. And that is what the president of the United States would have us believe. You saw the video yesterday, okay? You saw it. They were riding the escalator and it stopped. And then Melania kept walking, and Donald Trump got really scared because he wasn't sure he could make it on those cankles. That's the entirety of the story, okay? And I know it's an issue for him. He doesn't like having to walk upstairs, but he wrote another novella. He's having us believe that him and Melania could possibly have died in that case. You've already seen the video. Can you imagine if Joe Biden had done this? How much the right would mock him, how frail and pathetic he would be making himself out to be. And that is what Donald Trump is doing. He is literally calling for a continuing investigation of this, as if it was a plot to kill him and the first lady, because he had to walk up like 18 stairs. And by the way, I will remind everyone, we have known for a day now that it was Donald Trump's own team that caused it to be triggered. It was a videographer who was accompanying Trump and the rest of the US delegation that accidentally set off a stop mechanism. And that person, dear God, should not go to prison either. Donald Trump, as frail and unmanly as he is, was never in grave peril from this. My God, MAGA movement, get your guy. This is getting so pathetic.
If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?